Hello everyone. Welcome to Planning for Perfection. This is my very first time uploading a YouTube video, so bear with me. The reason why I'm uploading YouTube videos regarding planning and planners is because I've been a planner all of my life, but I absolutely love the Legend Planner. And I can't find but a handful of very old videos. So I wanted to share with you today how my planner system is working for me. As you can see, I've had the Legend Planner since 2021, 2022, 2023, and now 2024. At the beginning, I didn't use the planner the vision board and that sort of thing completely. So for instance, in 2023 I used the goals, but I didn't actually use the awareness and self-development and my vision, etc. I didn't even finish the vision board, and that's primarily because I am a functional planner. I do like a little bit of decoration, but I can't draw worth a lick, so I use stickers to make things pretty, but I also don't want to spend too much time in doing planning the plan instead of doing what I've planned to do. So this is a Legend Planner. It is, I believe it's the A5 size, which is something I gravitate to. But the interesting thing that I recently learned about myself, I may gravitate to this size, but except as, well, from a journal perspective, I never complete writing in an A5 journal. But I do use the pocket. So I am going to show you a couple of different things that's actually working for me. My planning system consists of 3 books. My planner that I use for planning and writing items down. This is only my personal planner. I have a projects journal that I coordinate with my planner, and I have, I'm not sure what this is called, but it's a little book I use to track important information. Not necessarily like a habit tracker, but tracking important information. And I just incorporated this year, and while I was incorporating it, I looked back and I saw back in 2017, 2018 that what works best for me are these small pocket journals. And so I show you my supplies and what I'm using, and I'm also show you how I use it. So for many years I have used a pocket journal, an A5 planner, and before I used the A5 planner, I used to just use a monthly planner like this for many years. So I'm going to show you how I put all this together without being redundant. And what I mean by being redundant, I am not writing the same things in each one of these systems. So, my Legend Planner I bought on Amazon, and I absolutely love it. Before I get into the detail, I want to show you my other supplies. My pocket journal, my projects journal, I also bought that on Amazon, and it comes 2 for $9.99. So I have a black and a brown. I'm currently using this one. I believe I'll be using this one for a different kind of activity, but I haven't decided yet. I also have this, which is akin to a traveler's notebook, but it's my own self-made one. And it includes field notes or field note size journals or booklets, and I'll show you how I use this. And I also made for myself a pencil board. But this field note cover, size booklet cover, I got off of Amazon. It came 2 for $15. And yes, it is faux leather, and I kind of punched a hole in there, put a strap that cord that I bought from Michael's, and put a couple of charms that I had on here as well. So I won't go into how I actually did it, but I will show you what I use it for. And the rest of my inserts in that little notebook are off Amazon as well. So I have a lined pocket-sized notebook. I have a dot grid, and you see I'm not necessarily brand loyal. And then I have a filled book, which is the graph. And I have a plain, well, that's the lined one. I should have a plain one. So I use all these for various purposes. Now, let's dive right into my Legend Planner. So if you've seen a Legend Planner before, you will note that you open it up, you have some blank pages, which I use to decorate. You also have I'm using the undated planner, and I add the 2024. You have your identifying information that you could use, and then you go right into your awareness and your vision and your dreams. Now again, I'm not an artistic person, but I haven't done my most important life goals, and then I'm not real visual, I'm functional, but I have a couple of items on my vision. Additionally, there's areas where you put your 1 year goals in various different areas. So it's health and fitness, career and business, finance and net worth, personal development, family and friends, romance and relationships, fun, recreation and hobbies, and spiritual. And then what I've done is I put my different goals, my tabs on the top. It has goals, and I'll show you how I coordinate GTD, or getting things done, modified version of that into my planning. At the top I have the months, tabs for the months, and along the sides I have tabs for the months. Because the way the Legend Planner is set up, you have your monthlies up front. After you've gotten all your visions, you have your 3 months goals. I have the first quarter already identified. Then you do your second quarter and the tactics that you're going to use for each of those goals. And that goes all the way through the first, second, third, and fourth quarter. And then the next thing that happens is you have your monthlies. And your monthlies come 1 month right after the other. So it's monthly. I neglected to say at the beginning, this is a monthly and a weekly. I do not do dailies, and I'll explain why I don't do dailies, but I have monthly and weekly that works best for me. Okay, so the next thing that happens is you have your monthly. And along the sideboard of the monthly, the way I use this is I indicated that I incorporated getting things done, that method, a modified method. And the way I do that is on the monthlies, you'll have the monthly, the month at advance. Down at the bottom you have your most important monthly goals, the things I'll do to make this month great. And then you have your sideboard, which I just identify the month, and then I write my next items under getting things done. And I'm not necessarily a big bullet journal person that has a lot of different indicators, nor do I use getting things done like that, but I use the major principles. And the major principles include having an inbox. So I created my inbox, and I modified it a little bit for February, but I created my inbox by using the primary areas of getting things done. So I have my tasks, events, projects, or ideas, the 4 items for the action needed, and then no action. So under action needed, you have next, waiting on, projects, or scheduled. no actions, you have someday, and reference. So I use this to list everything that I'm thinking of, and I guess that's called brain dump. And under the next, if it's something I need to purchase, I just put a B for buy, and otherwise I put X's for next. And on these X's is where I transfer this information over to January, or the month that I have my inbox on. If it's a project, I identify a project, and that goes into my projects book. Otherwise, if it's something that I can do right away, I'll schedule it, and then I'll go to my dailies, and this is why I have January up here. I will go, my tabs at the top identify my dailies, and right now I have a paper clip in here because it gets me to, we're in February now, it gets me to where I want to go quickly. But nonetheless, I have the tabs at the top, so if I go to January, then what I end up doing is putting whatever day that I schedule those items to be done on that particular day. In addition, what I did, because I do like things pretty, I purchased these dividers, these I guess is vellum calendars, month dividers off Etsy, and I tipped these in. So there's a January, we're currently in February, and I have that all the way through the year. So this is the way I set up my legend planner. I also have weekly routines, and in my weekly routines, there are certain things I need to do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I do not know, maybe Office Depot, I got these little pins that identify the date, and all I do is from one month to the other, I move this, and when it's time to go to March, I'll put it into March. So my system includes my routines, my getting things done, which includes my inbox, which is here, and this is my inbox for February. I do the reflection, which I did in January. I did the reflections. I cross off the items that are completed. If there's any items that are in my project journal that's still open, I do repeat those. I'm sorry, I do repeat those, and then I put the reference. And the nice thing about this particular book, project book, is that it has pages on the bottom. So when I reference this, I just reference the page that it's on. So I have my projects information. This is January. Projects I currently have going on are planning a garden. We're modifying our kitchen to have the microwave in the drawer. I'm looking for land to purchase, and then I need French doors for my library. So those are my projects that I'm currently working on, and I create a budget and steps for each of those projects, and they have their particular page number, and that's how I track my projects. Now, as I go through each step of my project, instead of trying to track it in my journal, what I end up doing is if there's something that needs action on in my project, I will put that on the date or the week that I plan to have actions. Now, you'll also notice that getting things done, you have a someday or a reference. So my reference, I reference my projects, but someday, in the back of the Legend Planner is a standard bullet journal or grid paper, dot paper that you could use. So in the back of there, I have created a tab that says someday, or my interests. So someday is where I would put down what my items are for someday. And for me, my someday is it's going to take greater than 3 months away. If it's not greater than 3 months away, then it becomes a project. And that's the way I figured out how to live out my dreams. So once I identify the items that are in my inbox, then I go to my dailies, and on my dailies, I will determine what needs to be done. I have a tracker for what I call prep, which is pray, read, exercise, and plan. And then I try and get these things done. I say try because ultimately you don't get everything done, and then you move that forward. If I'm feeling any bit creative, then what I end up doing is maybe, using a stencil for items. If I don't, I just write in what I'm doing and I keep it moving. After that, the other thing I do is I do have a future log. My future log is tabbed out, so I drew out the future log and I just write down what I know that's going on. A lot of people have an annual calendar. I haven't kept an annual calendar per se, but as I identify the things that need to be done, for instance, my dogs, Grace and Turbo, went to the vet in February, so February 2025, they'll be due for their annual vet visit, so I put that in my future log. Additionally, in January, I changed the filter to my the water filter and the air filter in the refrigerator, so that needs to be done every 6 months. So I went straight to June and wrote that into June. Fridge air filter, fridge H2O filter. Now, the one thing that I did, because this is an undated calendar, is I dated the monthlies up front. But other than dating the monthlies up front, I don't do any other kind of planning like that. Finally, in the back, there may be specific things that I'm tracking. There's future plans. On the back of the future plans, you'll see that it says references. So I created this little tab from dollar store stickers. The references will have information like doctors, medical information, wherever we go, phone numbers that I need to get in a hurry. The other thing is, on my faith area, I put down how to give online for the various places that I give, and also how to participate online. And then I do have a to read, but mostly I don't track that because I read a lot or listen to a lot of books, audio books. I do have a travel section, which I'm hoping to put something in my travel area. I have my passport expiration date, my passport number there. And then finally, one of the big areas that I'm tracking has to do with my budget. And I haven't tracked my budget manually in a very, very long time. But because we dine out a lot, because I work as well, it was really important that I told my husband, I said, we need to cut back on the dining out because I like to save some money. And so what I did is I created a couple of different trackers. And the trackers that I created, one was a dining out tracker. Dine, carry out. And we dine, carry out. My husband's disabled, and so we don't go out, but I buy food out a lot. So I just put the dates down here and the months across the side, and then I'm logging in daily when we eat out. As you can see, we started out pretty good in January, but the last part of the month I got really busy, and so we ate out a lot. February we're starting to tail off just a little bit. The other thing that I've done is I've created a 2024 income tracker. I have identified the sources of income down the side, the entire, the year, the months across the top, and then at the bottom, we actually have totals for the budget. That's just something that I created because I wanted to try and track that a little bit better. And then we also have a 2024 budget tracker that I created. And that has obviously very sensitive information, so I'm going to try not to show that to you, but I would like to just explain it has very much like the income tracker. It has the months across the top and the items down the side. Okay, so that is my legend planner, and then let me show you. I don't necessarily carry this with me every day. I used to carry it with me all the time, but since I added this particular, I'm going to call this my everyday carrier, but it does not have my appointments and things that need to be done in it, but I don't need it. Partially because I use this, I review it every morning so I know what appointments I have. I review it in the evening. And for work, because I do work, I use Microsoft. So I don't set appointments for my work during the day, but I do set on my work planner. I do put like personal appointments, like dentists, doctors, etc. The dog vets. I do put that on my work planner and identify it as personal. And that work planner is a digital Microsoft Outlook, but I don't put the work information in my personal planner. So what I've done in this one, which is now in essence my wallet, and it is also extremely important information, my financial information. What I've done with this planner is I have created my 2024 income and expense book. And in this income and expense book, I have monthly, I've identified what my income is monthly, and I said I don't repeat information. I don't. What I've done in this small journal is identify the specific checks that we get. And in the big one, I just put the total monthly. I use the monthly from here, the total, and I transfer that over to this one. And the same thing with the expenses. I do not track my individual, I do track my individual expenses in this one. I'll show you that a little bit here. I need to blur out some of it. But what I've done is I turn it this way and I track by week what I spend on various areas. Passwords to everything. And then this, I think, is supposed, I don't know, I haven't used this yet, but it's a cute little notebook. It says take care of your shelf. It could be a book reader tracker, but I haven't used it for anything. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it. But this is critical. For me, it has my budget information. So on my budget information, I was going to show you a little bit how I scheduled that out. I turn it this way, and then across the top I have the weeks, week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is just expenses. This is not income. So I have with our mortgages and how I spend the money every week. And I have a whole digital system of how I just do a pivot table in Excel, and then once a week I update this information. So that's how I spend the money. You can see, I'll show this to you. This is February. We're at February 15th, 16th right now. I haven't updated February. So I'm behind a couple of weeks because I had really huge work projects, but this is good to show you the layout. So I'll just repeat the items up here in terms of the expense. I'll put the mortgage, utilities, etc., and then how I've spent that. And I'll probably do it over the weekend because we have a nice long weekend coming up. So I have identified 2 pages per day for 2 pages for each month, and then I additionally, even though I don't have them laid out, I'll lay them out when I set up March and April. And additionally, I have a credit card tracker, credit card tracker so that we can pay off our credit cards. as we decide to. So with the credit card tracker, what I've done is this is Home Depot and Lowe's, and basically I put when it's due, how much we owe, how much we paid, and what the current balance is, and down the side I have the month. So because Lowe's and Home Depot were so minimal, I don't think I put the months down the side. We paid those off, and as we use them, we pay them off. But this helps keep us on track because we're trying to save for a very large disability van for my husband. In my tracker here, my passport trackers, you'll see there's one that says business. So I have passwords for my business activity and passwords for my personal activity. This is pretty much the only area that I've actually blended business and personal together, and this stays with me. Finally, you may be wondering, well, how can you live without a planner or without a calendar in your planner? Well, this is essential information. I do have my telephone, but more importantly, I used to only plan with this many years ago. But now what I'm doing with this, because my financials are so important to me, only thing I'm doing with this is taking a quick peek. I've logged in what my bills are, my credit cards, and my auto pays. And I've logged in what my paydays are. And this is just a good reference for what day of the week it is, if I have to look real quickly, or if I have to look and see, like for the month of February, where the paydays are, what's on auto pay, like OnStar, Peloton, my coffee, Black Rifle Coffee, and those sorts of things. So, but that's how I track my information. This system is working for me very well. I started it in December. I refined it in January, and I'm excited about finishing it this year. Please let me know what you thought about this. I love the Legend Planner. It's my primary everyday carry, but I don't take it with me because what's really important that I take with me is this. If I have to make an appointment, my appointments are during the day, that syncs with my cell phone on Microsoft. So I always just double check my digital calendar for making appointments. That way I don't double book. Financials stay with me, live with me. And if you have any questions, let me know. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, a subscribe. If you subscribe, you're going to be my first subscribers because this is my very first video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.